So guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. The season is over and that means it's time to talk transfers, and I always get excited to bring these videos to the channel because with Manchester United, every single transfer window, there's always crazy things that go on. So every Friday, we're going to sit down, we're going to bring you guys the hottest topics surrounding Manchester United. We're going to talk about players we're rumoured with, the crazy stories that go on, and also we're going to bring you confirmed deals as well. And that will be like separate videos when they get announced by Fabrizio or David Ornstein. So it should be a very packed summer, and that's every Friday, guys. We're going to sit down like we did last year. So if you like the idea of that, then please make sure to give the video a like. If you are new to the channel, guys, and haven't subscribed and want to do that, then please hit that red button in the bottom right corner. That would help out a lot. I think we're 2 subscribers off 7,200. So hopefully when this video goes out later tonight, we'll hopefully have made it already. But if you haven't, then of course tell your friends to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yourself when you're watching the video, then do that, guys. It all helps out, so make sure you guys are doing that. But we have so much going on in this video that we have to talk about. So let's get on with it, guys. And the first bit of news, obviously the major news that broke out the other day, Erik Ten Hag is set to stay as Manchester United manager. We heard the news from Fabrizio. I'll read it out for you here. Manchester United have already started initial talks with Erik Ten Hag and his camp over a new contract. Negotiations will follow to agree on a new contract. Keep going together. Also on the summer transfer window plans, Ten Hag stays. And I think he also went on to say... Yeah, Erik Ten Hag, happy with Ineos's decision. Obviously was a bit peed off because it took so long. And I think all the fans, yeah, we can agree with that. Because when you're on holiday and, you know, the board in Ineos is talking to other managers behind your back about becoming a new manager, I would get pissed off with that as well. Because that's not right. That's not how you deal with a situation. But as long as they came to the right decision, which they did, that's what I'm happy about. Because if it took this long and we ended up getting in a Gareth Southgate, you know, a Pochettino or someone like that, the board would have lost all the fans' trust already this early on. So it was a massive decision they had to make. So yeah, happy with Ineos' decision. No personal issues. Despite long review, he's only focused on Manchester United's project. His role in developing youngsters like Mainu and Garnacho has been a key factor on why they kept him, as Ineos want to keep following that way. Trust young players. And also, we did hear that another major reason why he was kept on was because of that FA Cup final. And that's why I said just off that game, we saw the potential Ten Hag has with this team. The way we beat City, it wasn't a fluke. Yeah, we tactically outclassed them. We deserved to win the game. And I just think regarding how the season has gone, all the injuries, the off-field situations, it would have been wrong to sack him. He deserves another chance. 2 trophies in 2 years. Again, highest win percentage of any Manchester United manager in his first season or something like that. I think it was along those lines. So yeah, I think he definitely deserved to stay, and that's definitely the right decision. I was really, really happy about that. And we also have some more news on that. Sir Dave Brailsford was the one most keen on keeping Erik Ten Hag as well, which is also very, very key, and I should note that as well. Erik Ten Hag will not blindly accept any Manchester United contract that is put in front of him. As I've mentioned, talks are well underway for a new contract. I think it might be another year on top of what he already has, which again is not bad. He wants to feel empowered and not be a lame duck manager, so he wants signings to be made and through the door before pre-season. That would improve the squad. That's definitely key as well. I definitely agree with that, just because if you go into pre-season with a team you want and the transfers you want, it gives you time to build up a team with them and train with them and obviously get to know them a bit more. And of course, you get to put them in the team so they have an idea of what they really needed to do or what Ten Hag wants them to do as well. So I do think it's really key that we do get transfers going now, because this manager saga and the end of season review went on for a very, very long time, and it stopped us making any progress with any transfers. And we are a bit behind on that situation now. So we have to get on with some transfers. And that was from Charducker from the Hurst class. Some discussions on recruitment happened without Ten Hag, which I didn't really get, because I think everyone should be involved in that, although we know that Ten Hag is going to take a back step now on transfers, which again could help him go forward with the team because they'd be more focused on a philosophy with the team, getting the team prepared for the season and not have to worry about transfers and what he wants, which again, he tried that and it obviously didn't work with Anthony, Mason Mount, etc. So maybe taking a back step on the situation is definitely going to benefit him. And such as a decision to let Raphael Varane's contract expire, that was not down to Ten Hag. Whether he'd still be here, if it was down to Ten Hag, I think he probably would. But obviously, it's Ineos now. They're going to deal with all this situation, and we have to put our trust in them. And they made the right decision to keep Ten Hag. So my trust is fully with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos going forward now. I think we can really have a good time, and it's only going forward from here, in my opinion. So that was some more news on that. Apparently, Ineos started their discussions over a new manager with a particular profile in mind, a young head coach who plays attractive football and would work in a structure, creating a good culture, also seen as important, hence why some Ineos were supportive of Gareth. I don't get that one. Attractive football, Gareth Southgate, doesn't really go in the same sentence. So I don't get what that was about. And I'm thank goodness we didn't get Gareth Southgate in, because that's not attractive football. They also talked about, this is also key as well, Manchester United held face-to-face talks with Fulham manager Marco Silva just 2 days before the FA Cup final, while Erik ten Hag was telling the media that he was planning for next season. That's not right. Like, the way this has been handled has been a bit of a disgrace. Like, if you've come to a decision in the end that Ten Hag was the one because other managers didn't suit your role or the style you wanted them to play with his team, then, pick Ten Hag from the start. I don't get it. It was handled wrong. And, hopefully this is just a one-off and they don't handle situations like this going forward in the way they have done with this one, because I just think it's so unfair on the manager and I feel so sorry for Ten Hag. I really do. And he's got to kick on now and forget about this. Obviously, he probably knows about this now, but he's only focused on the team. But yeah, I just think the way Ineos, David Brailsford and co dealt with their Erik ten Hag end of season review was just wrong. You can't talk about other managers behind his back or do face-to-face talks with other managers behind Ten Hag's back. It's wrong. Tell him what's what. Let him know what's going on, so at least he has a bit of a clue on the way you've handled things. I just think that was wrong as well. So those were the main talking points and all the news that came out regarding Erik ten Hag and a decision to stay. We've got news from Fabrizio and, of course, David Ornstein on the day a few days ago as well. And this is the first time, really, I've been able to sit down and talk about it. Let's read this for you. Manchester United contract negotiations with Erik ten Hag will include key discussions about his role in the club's recruitment and makeup of his coaching team. So, of course, Ten Hag, what he's basically saying is he's all right to sit down, he's all right to take a back step on certain things around the club, transfers, etc. He's willing to, let Ineos deal with that. But he doesn't want Ineos to have full control. Erik ten Hag is not a man that's going to sit there and be bossed around and let all the decisions be made for him. He wants to know, he wants to keep the coaching staff that he wants to have. And I think that's key, because the coaching staff and the manager have to have a really good relationship. They have to get on with each other. They have to know a bit about each other. I think Ten Hag wants that. He wants that with his coaching staff so he can get along with them. And of course, there's no point putting new coaching staff in front of him. So then that's going to take them a long time to bond with him. And we don't need that right now. We need the same coaching staff as last season. So Erik ten Hag and them can really get along together. So, Ten Hag is not going to sit back and be controlled. He wants to also have some power on some things around Manchester United, which I get because that's only right. And he has every single right to argue that with Ineos and sit down with them and talk about that. So that was the last thing on the transfers, guys. But let me know regarding Erik ten Hag. Are you guys happy with this? With the decision of him staying, of course, agreeing a new contract and being Manchester United manager? Because I was really, really happy with it. And the next bit is about Martin Branthwaite from Everton. Yesterday, we heard Manchester United had agreed personal terms with the player. Branthwaite from Everton, a very good up-and-coming young talent. similar to Chelsea's one with Tosin Adebayo, very similar player. But I do think Branthwaite will cost a lot, and that's going to be the only issue, because we're hearing up to 60 or 70 to 80 million for Jarrad Branthwaite. And for me, I'm not paying that. That's crazy, crazy money. If it's 40 to 50 million, fair enough. That's a really, really good deal for a player still very, very young. He's a very professional player already. We've seen him throughout the whole season. He's been putting up some really good performances and some good numbers with the Everton team. And again, stepping into Manchester United is a massive step up for him. And again, apparently, our wages were willing to pay him 160 to 170k, and that's crazy. I don't know why we do this every single time. That's a massive increase on what he's on already. I just don't get why we hand out wages here, there and everywhere like we've got them on tap. Genuinely, because we haven't. And we can't be giving players like this incredible high wages in the region of 160 to 170 million. I just don't think it's right. So the news that's coming out, the agreement on terms between Manchester United and Jarrad Branthwaite would see him earn around 150 to 160k, like I was saying. They are understood to have moved quickly. So this is the deal, which it does look like it could get done, but it's just about negotiations going the way we want them to. And Ineos have said they're not going to overpay anymore. They saw what we did with Anthony, Mason Mount, players like that. It didn't work out. So they're willing to sit down and negotiate, but they're not going to pay crazy wages or crazy prices for players like Jarrad Branthwaite for 60 to 70 million. 150 to 160 a week. We've got any more news on that? That's all the news we have on Jarrad Branthwaite at the moment. But as I mentioned, he's a player which I think is a good move if we do end up getting him. As I mentioned, still very, very young. A lot of talent in there. And again, with Varane leaving, Maguire potentially leaving, Lindelof potentially leaving, him and Martinez at the back, I'd definitely like to see that. I really would. But again, I would not pay, I will say this clearly, I will not pay over 60 million for Jarrad Branthwaite. It's just not right. It's not a good deal. It doesn't work out for both parties. And again, it's just an incredible price for someone who's not really worth that at the moment, in my opinion. And our final story, guys, we have on Joshua Zirkzee, who's been linked with a lot of top clubs. We heard about, I think it was 5 hours ago from James Ducker, Manchester United have strong interest in Joshua Zirkzee. They are considering triggering his 34 million release clause per James Ducker. And this player is very similar to what we're being linked with Elise, Matthias Cunha. They're all very, very similar players. And Zirkzee for Bologna this season has been putting up some really, really good numbers. And he's a very, very good player. He's just been called up to the national team for the Euros, although he wasn't picked. He's been called up late. And again, he's a player which could really, really fit into the Ten Hag system. He's very bright. He's very quick. And again, he's a player which has so much potential. He's still young as well. So yeah, we are linked with Joshua Zirkzee. And again, a lot of teams are as well. So there's going to be a big race for his transfer that has been going on. And also, what I wanted to just touch on is there's been some stories, well, after the aftermath of the season from Laurie Whitwell regarding Anthony. This was coming out earlier. It says Laurie Whitwell, I can't even pronounce that, with some very interesting updates here on Ten Hag and Anthony. Ten Hag said to be deeply disappointed at the signing of Anthony that is not working out after Anthony agreed with Ten Hag about playing left back against Liverpool in the FA Cup. So apparently what happened also after the Everton game as well, when he was told to play out of position, apparently in the changing rooms, Ten Hag had a massive, massive go at Anthony and he was not happy with him. So maybe this is a transfer with Anthony who could be out the door very, very quickly and could be someone we look to offload as the transfer is not working out. I was a bit shocked at the news as well because Ten Hag really likes Anthony, so to know he's got that vicious side about him, even about his favourite player, I'm really liking that. Yeah, when Anthony showed his frustration of being moved to left back against Liverpool and Arsenal last season, or was Arsenal Everton, in the dressing room afterwards, Ten Hag ripped into the Brazilian, telling him bluntly he had to play where he was told. Again, it does say a lot, man. In the aftermath, I think there'll be so much more news going on about this, that certain players yeah, we've heard about that Ten Hag wanted to play a high line, but the players weren't interested, etc. So we have so much. Of course, some of it's going to be fake. Some of it's not going to be real. As you know, reporters just seem to know everything now that Ten Hag is being backed by the manager. But other than that, guys, yeah, let me know down below your thoughts on all the stuff that I've been talking about in this video. Ten Hag staying, are you a fan? I certainly am. Are you happy with the decision? Jared Branthwaite, is he a player you would want? 70 million to or 60 to 70 million. Is that for you? Not for me personally, but we'll have to see how that goes forward and progresses. And also Joshua Zirkzee as well. Is that a player we should be interested in and should be going for? Is he a need at the moment? Let me know down below, guys. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys, for today's and first episode of a transfer roundup on the Friday. If you did enjoy, please smash a like, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. Share the video. But anyway, guys, that's me done, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.